Namaskar, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much, Mr. Rai, for having me here. I always somehow undermine the power of the traffic in Delhi, so apologies for having landed here a little late. Speaking after Mr. Khera, of course, it's, what can I say? I don't think there's anything to be said. I should have spoken before you, actually, I think. Then I would have been heard. But thank you for having pointed out some very pertinent aspects which I think people tend to overlook when we speak of governance in India. So as most of you would know, I am the Sarpanch of a village in Rajasthan, very close to Jaipur. And I'm sure you're not going to forget the name of my village. It is Soda. So every time you drink soda, I hope you'll think of me and my village. I'm just going to take you through my village and what we have done over the last 5 years. So I was first elected in 2010, and I'm happy to share with you I have been elected once again just this February. And one tenure is of 5 years, and I often notice that people are not aware that the post of a Sarpanch or the Panchayat elections are actually apolitical, and therefore they're not considered to be mainstream politics, and that is why it becomes a lot more challenging, the process of the elections itself. But I think when we speak of India, I'm hoping you're all going to agree that as we know, the majority of India lives in rural India, that is the villages. And as we know, it's 70+% population. But what we also know is that that 70% population, especially the remote villages, tend to get neglected. But if we actually want to look at development of India, I personally believe it has to also be bottom up. What is happening at the moment and has continued to happen for many decades is a very top-down approach, because of which there is a huge gap. And while one speaks of rural development, and while the government has the intent, pushes in more funding for rural development, it doesn't really, we don't see the change that we wish to see because of the gap that exists. And through my story, my journey over the last 5 years, I'm hoping I'll be able to explain to you why that gap exists. And as Mr. Khera said, we all need to be part of the solution. We all are part of this nation. And instead of pointing fingers at a particular institution or a body, I think we also need to realize that it is our responsibility as citizens of this nation to not just help the people around us, but also help ourselves if we want to be selfish, which is, in today's day and time, considered all right. Because if you're going to think of yourself and you're going to ensure that the surroundings that you live in are proper, you're also indirectly helping the people in the vicinity that you work or live in. So I'm hoping for those of you who don't get the time to spend on working on things that you want to see changed, even a little bit counts, and even a little bit has the ability to make huge benefits, not just to yourself, but to the rest of the society as well. And I'm hoping you will also dwell upon what Mr. Khera said, that we need to ensure that we help develop better human beings, better citizens, because when I look at India from both the urban sector as well as the rural sector, our graph is dipping and dipping really fast. The concept of values, the concept of sanskar, which is what has had the rest of the world look towards India, it's really sad to notice how badly and how quickly that graph is falling. And if we don't wake up now, it's going to be really difficult to fix things. So please talk about it, do something about it. And as I said, you can do, even in the space that you're in, you can make a huge difference. And